It's guys, how are we all? It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a bit. Yeah, like you say, international break, uni starting. Been a busy boy, so good to be back. Bit of championship football, bit of Leeds United. That's what I've been missing. So this is just going to be a match preview. I've done a bit of analysis on them. I've done a bit of what I've watched a few of the highlights, look at some of the stats. This is basically a plan. What to expect, what they will bring, how we can beat them, what are their threats. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Let's go. But here, what I believe their ideal lineup is. Look, it's hard to figure out a lineup when a team's played a lot of different formations, which they have, and then with a lot of different personnel as well. But I believe they played a 4-2-3-1 once against Norwich, which also played a 4-2-3-1. So they kind of went man for man against that type of side, which didn't go well for them. But after that, they have played a back three with two wing backs in different variations in front of that. So it'll be interesting to see how they think it. I believe it will be back five based on that information. Very, I guess, stable defence at this point. They are missing their best defender, who we'll get into in a second. Who they have brought in is Norton Cuffy, a guy I really like on the right, who will get high a lot and really help their attack, as opposed to Murray Wallace, who's more of a physical player. But yeah, there's not a team that has standout players, but they are a team who has a lot of experience, a lot of physical play, a lot of good movement and desire to want to win. Zion Fleming is a guy a lot of you probably heard of. He's a good player, kind of that player we wanted or needed. Kevin Nesbitt up top will battle and fight, as will Bradshaw. They're both two good, tenacious players who, if you give them a chance, will be curtains, so we have to keep them too quiet. As a whole, it's a fairly physical, probably strong mentally championship side that we have to use our abilities to beat. Just a quick one on the subs. This guy and this guy, Eze, really like him, good young player. Two guys I've highlighted who have had impacts on the game. John Hutchinson was their captain, is injured, will not play, which is huge for Leeds. He was one of their best performers before his injury, so that is a big blow for them, for sure. There's a few on the bench to watch for Eze, obviously. There's a few in there that are decent players, but I'm going to do Joe's show tonight. We'll get more into the depth of the players. We'll move on to the stats now. Dangers. I've got this man, Zion Fleming. For me, as you can see there, good movement, creative, good finisher. And if you just look at his heat map, he's quite an elusive player. He doesn't necessarily have a stable position. He will often drift around. That's one thing I found about this Millwall side. They are very regimented and structured at the back, but the front four, when they get to attack, is quite fluid, and they do get forward high, and they do attack with kind of risk. And with all four of them, they will get high and they will progress forward. So Zion Fleming is kind of part of that movement. But what is interesting here, if you look at the average positions of the last two games, Zion Fleming there, the number 10, and look at it's the same areas in both games that the front three have kind of occupied. They've kind of come in narrow. And what will happen is often there'll be a high ball from one of the defenders into this area. And this is where the space comes for the fullback, Norton Cuffy, who will get forward. When 17, Norton Cuffy, as you can see, look, very high up. When he gets forward, what he will do, obviously with the width then, these four here, I think it's Saville, number 23, who will often drive into the box as well, will just pack the edge of the box, either go for a cross or a cutback. So we have to deal with that first ball. The first ball in these areas where these three will compact to create width, we have to deal with that. If not, we have to deal with the overload they will try and get to in the box when they've won that first header or they've controlled that ball. And this is what they're good at. Zion Fleming, like I said, quite elusive, can run off people, can hold the ball up. Bradshaw as well. Bradshaw is one they will use to hold the ball up and just play it to these guys. And then you can look at the space in the wide areas that they will want to exploit with their fullback. So we've got to be really careful of that going forward, not to get caught out from them, win our battles. And that they're the basic principles of this game. Win your physical battles, but in a way that don't let this game be a physical battle in the sense that we're better on the side, we're a better technical side, we have the better athletes in terms of going forward, dribbling, movement, agility. We have to use those players to be effective, and we'll win it. It's that type of game. We have to play our game. We have to be wary of the opposition and what they can bring, of course. But if we do what we do well and the defence sorts out their structure, we can win this game. And here's some examples. Put them on my head. Here's some examples. So what they've done here, in the first one, they've done a long ball from the defence into Bradshaw. And as you can see, he's just held up this defender. And in the reaction to that is the front movement All 4 of them around the ball, looking to get into these gaps, into these areas to create overloads. That's what we need to be careful of. The rotations of the front 4, and then when they do win that second ball, they are all prepared to go forward and exploit these gaps in behind. Same one here. Long ball out to Wallace, who is a left back, but got forward, obviously identified, heads it down into this area. And again, 4 players all on the edge of the box, all ready to receive it in high areas. So we've got to be careful. We have to be structured and ready in these areas, or they will get goals from it. They're not a team that scores a lot. They've scored, 4 this season? But they don't concede either. It's going to be one of those games. We have to use our abilities to affect them. Here are the stats, and you can't see below my head, but I'll just move it into the middle. We don't care about fouls and cards, so we'll move that there. Or goal kicks, we don't care about that. The ones above my head, focus on those. Look at Leeds United in possession. Millwall, as you can see, 39% possession, do not like possession of the ball. They do not have possession of the ball. And this is the first 5 games of the season, by the way. They do not have possession of the ball. They don't care of possession. They're a moments side. They will work in moments. They will get the ball in these areas and then go forward. Accurate passes, not great, 67%. That's not high. Accurate in their own half, so defensive half, 82%. Again, not bad. But then when you go into the opposition half, 56% in the final third. It's not a lot of passes. Not a lot of successful passes in the final third. They try to minimise that and be direct with their play, and often rely on a lot of dribbling in the final third and off-the-ball movement across to create chances. Not necessarily a passing team that will move the ball around. And this is where we come in. If you look at our possession stats, 59% on average, we like the ball. Our accurate passes is much high. In own half, 91%, 76% in the opposition, which is very high, by the way. We've got to use our abilities to beat them. We have to move the ball quickly, use our individual talented players that can get past their defence. They're all big guys. All big guys. They're not great agility. They're not quick. The turning circle's not great. They're all big physical guys. What we can do is beat them with our movement, our off-the-ball movement, our on-the-ball movement, our 1v1 dribbling. That's where we can beat them. And that's what we have to do. We have to be good in those areas. Somerville and Nonto in this game are vital. Those 2 guys will be the key to breaking them down, 100%. If they bring their A game, they will breeze past them. I've seen Somerville get past, break through Liverpool defenders with ease. Same with Nonto. Solid fullbacks, destroyed. They need to bring that energy in this game because they're a big part of this game. Okay, these guys are physical. They will go for the battle. They will take them down. They will foul them. But we can't rise to that. We've got to accept it. We've got to be resilient. We've got to be aggressive in going forward. We have to. The off the ball movement has to be solid. Has to be solid. And we'll beat them because we've got the better technical players. We've got the better athletes. But what they have is the experience. They have that experience of these big games. They're an older team. That they've been in the Championship a while. We have to bring our A game and not rise to the occasion. We have to play our game. One thing I identified from the last game, when a team plays a block, and Millwall will be defensive at times, obviously when we pile the pressure, they will play a defensive side. We need more runners from midfield. This is huge. What we often saw was Shackleton and Nonto was just outside of him here, cul-de-sacked. Because look, where's the next option? These 2 are in this corner. Nonto's just off picture. Where's the next option? These 2 are fine in here. I don't mind this. Because what they're waiting for is this shot and then anything on the edge to finish it. I don't mind that. Potentially one could run in the front post to distract the keeper. That's fine. But where's the midfield runner? This gap right here is absolutely crying out for a midfield runner. In a low block, when a team is so structured and they know who they're marking, they know the movement you're going to make, you have to throw something in there. Something different. Where's the midfield run here? The ball came along across from Ampadu about 3 or 4 seconds before this. If they can't get there in time, which I suggest they should have done, but if they can't, send a centre back up, Pascal Strauch, and you can check the footage. He's on mark. There's no one in front of him. Drive into this space. Ampadu can cover you. That's not a problem. Take those risks. That's what you have to do to defeat a low block. We have to do that, and we'll have to do that against Millwall at times. These midfield runners are vital. Here's another example of it. Look at that. Nonto there, cutting in, but he's on his weaker side. He's always on his left. You can't get down the line because they've got 3 guys. But look at the space. And I promise you can look it back. Ampadu is literally just off picture. Up there. Ampadu needs to drive into this area where the ref is. The ref's in a great position. That's where Ampadu should be. Because not only then does that drag Bannon out, that creates spaces in these areas that might drag this guy out, which then Luke Ayling can get in behind. You know, there's always areas in which we... And second to that, Ampadu can drive in the ball himself. He can make the running behind or he can drive with the ball himself. We have to be smart. We have to find ways to break these down. And this is a big thing for me. An extra man, getting that midfield runner late into the box. And to those people that said we didn't create chances, I just want to show you this. For the side that we are and the players we have, Joel Perreault, let's look at that. For Joel Perreault, and you look at Joel Perreault and the goals he scored, that's a clear chance. That's a big one for Joel Perreault. Should be scoring, or at least getting it on target. Wasn't even on target, it was miles wide. Ruta there, good save from the goalkeeper. But these are chances we've got to take. Somerville played through by Jorginho Ruta. Got to score. Somerville here. Probably a slightly more difficult one, but I'm looking at the gap in the goal. And he doesn't even get it on target. That's my problem. This one and this one are both off target. These ones were 2 saves, but this one definitely got to go in. This one's a tighter angle. We have to get these on target. We have to take these chances. Jorginho Ruta at the bottom. We know this one to go straight to the keeper. Look at the spaces he's got. That is 5. The players we've got and the ability they have, 5 clear chances we had to score against Sheffield Wednesday. 5. And a penalty we should have got. 5 clear chances. We have to be clinical. Have to be clinical. Because we will get these chances again against Millwall. Might be 5, might be 2 or 3. Whenever we get them, we've got to be clinical in these areas. These are big, clear chances to at least hit the target. Or make the goalkeeper work, which we did for 2 of them. 2 of the 5 making the goalkeeper work. Not good enough. Not good enough at all. Got to get better in this. Have to be calm in these moments. It's the final thing. How do we beat them? I've gone through it. How do we win? Be us. Dominate the ball. Be better man for man. Win your battles. Be better on the ball. Stretch them. You know? Stretch them. Make them turn. They're big guys. They don't want to be running around. They don't want to be turning. Do that to them. Use our ability. Use our athleticism that we've got in Somerville, Gnonto, Ruta. Use that. Create the spaces. Get them in awkward positions. Get them turning. Use our technical ability and physicality. And what I mean by physicality is the speed and the power we have on the ball going forward. Use that. Overwhelm them with that. Don't let the occasion beat you. Just a game of football. Get the noise. It's difficult to do, I hear it, but if we want to be serious in the Championship, we've got to forget the noise of the crowd, the aggression, whatever it is. Block it out. Daniel Farke will remain calm. Take that from your coach. Take that from your manager. If he's calm, you should be calm. It's a game of football. Man for man, be better and beat them. And finally, just be clinical, Leeds. Just be clinical. Be what we know we can be, like we were against Ipswich. We had a chance, we scored. We had chances against Wednesday, we didn't score them. Arguably, some of them were hard, easier. Or 2 or 3 of them were easier. Yeah. This game is quite a simple one as an analyst. Millwall are not the type of team who have these outstanding players. They have 1 or 2 who can be very dangerous, don't get me wrong. And if in the right system, which they are in right now, they are very effective in certain times of the games. But we will have the most of the ball. We will have most possession. We have to be progressive. We have to be dangerous with it. Patient at times, but when it's on, to add another midfielder in that attack, to be 1v1, to take your chances, we have to do that. Defensively, we have to be solid. We have to be alert. We have to watch for them front 4 getting forward high when they play a ball in behind. We have to. We do those things, we be what we can be, and we'll be fine in this game. It's got to be there. We've got to be fully there mentally, or we will not win this. We will suffer. Because Millwall will be there mentally. We've got some good pros in that side, and some decent players as well. So we've got to be careful. We have the ability. Of course we do. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate the support. Please leave a like if you don't mind, and sub if you don't mind as well. I'll be on Joe's tonight. Yeah, looking forward to that. It's going to be a good one. Let me know what you guys think about the end tomorrow. Appreciate all the support as usual.